Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is EonShiKeno, casting in another game here on Xel'Naga Caverns. This one actually being played on the Korean server. We've got choyafOu as our Terran player in the top part of Xel'Naga Caverns, and on the bottom part we've got SSapoZenith, SSapo, I'm just going to call him Sapo. He's a blue Protoss player from Clan Zenith, of course. I haven't seen him in any GSL matches so far, so I don't know if he's qualified. I don't think he's qualified for any matches thus far, but at the moment in GSL Season 3, choyafOu is actually in quarterfinals right now, so he's doing extremely well for Clan FOU in GSL this season. I think he's actually up against Jinro, so that's going to be a pretty cool TBT if I remember. I think he's versus Jinro. But anyway, let's check out what kind of builds we got going for here on Xel'Naga Caverns. Choya going for a wall off with the barracks, supply depot. I really don't tend to wall off against Protoss players unless it's maybe a smaller map like Xel'Naga Caverns, like Steps of War, just in case they're gonna Chrono boost out some zealots to harass your worker line, something like that. But normally I don't wall off against Protoss players on medium to large size maps. Small maps, more than likely I do, but so standard opening for Choya. We're going to see how long he continues to pump Marines. We'll see if he throws on a tech lab or anything on there. Already starting his gas, got all three on gas, upgrading to orbital. Pretty standard. And SSapoZenith getting that cybernetics core and getting a second gas. Looked like that's pretty, I'd say, faster gas than most normal players do. He actually chrono boosting out of Zealot, and I'm not sure why he's chrono boosting out of Zealot. Maybe he's just going to try and get there before the SCV gets the top rank, but unfortunately the SCV is there. He's going to be able to scout this out, and that chrono boost is actually not going to be too worthwhile in the long run. He's going to get a stalker out very soon to be able to kill that. No, Choya, pay attention. You're going to lose your SCV. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And now he's back in action. His APM probably skyrocketed right there. He's like, oh no, I don't want to lose that. So quickly getting out of there, and ooh, throws up a robo. Did he scout that? Oh, he scouted the robo too. Sapo, you just showed him you're going robo. So Choya getting a tech lab, gonna start making a marauder and throwing that expansion very quickly. So wow, one barracks expanded, seems to be pretty popular. We saw Cloud do this in the last game I casted. Go for that one barracks expand. He actually went for a reactor instead of a tech lab. Excuse me. I kind of like this tech lab expand better than the reactor expand, just because Marauders, you can get that slow upgrade, and that lets you deal with Stalkers a little bit better in the early game if they try to harass you. Whereas the downside is if your opponent goes for a Stargate with Void Rays, you can't make as many Marines, and then the Void Ray can really screw you up. Just the timing on that Void Ray, if it gets in there. If he comes in with one Void Ray, Chrono boosts it, gets it out there, and even proxies it down here, it can do a lot of damage to you. But you know, if scouted properly, you really don't have to worry about something like that. And of course, he scouted the robo, so he doesn't have to worry about any type of Void Ray. And actually, Warp Prism. Ooh, Warp Prism. I love me some Warp Prism. My favorite unit in the game. I don't even play Protoss that often, but I love the Warp Prism. Since beta, I don't know, there's something about the Warp Prism. It's awesome. It's like a flying glass wireframe device. I don't know, it's crazy. You can like warp in units anywhere on the map. It carries units, and it's pretty sweet stuff. And you can even like build units underneath it to make it attack. It's so cool. So, oh, I love this. Oh, I've seen this strategy done by Katari actually a long time ago. So what you do is he's going to use this. He's going to go one base. Oh, actually scouted it. Oh no, terrible. So scouts, let me explain the strategy from what I think he's going to do. So SSapoZenith is going to use his Warp Prism, come up here, bring in units, drop them here, completely bypass this front wall in. He's just going to drop them up here and then activate it, warp in Zealots to deal with these Marauders. And this is definitely a strategy, a one-base strategy that works so well to counter this fast expansion, and it works even better when your opponent goes Marines, just because your Marines are going to be out here in front within a bunker or something. But this just bypasses the bunker, bypasses the barracks at the wall in, but at the same time, Choya scouted that, so he knows the strategy. He knows it's coming, and SSapoZenith got, oh man, just those two little bits of scouting. So scouting was extremely critical in this matchup. He scouted the robo, and then he ran up that SCV at the perfect timing, scouted the Warp Prism, and completely shuts this down. Choya didn't even have the Xel'Naga towers scouted, so wow, this is so critical. And SSapoZenith's just going to go for, I don't know if he's going to sit here with a container, if he's going to try and break this. If he tries to break up this ramp, I think that's going to be a bad move. He's got a bunch of sentries out. I think he should just kind of sit still, play patient, play macro, contain his opponent, get 2 base advantage, maybe get some Colossi out, and go for a fight there. So choyafOu, I mean, at this point, he's kind of contained. He can either build up a really huge army, try to break out the front, but at that point, he has to worry about sentries force fielding ramp. Some Stalkers actually attacking a supply depot. Now he's coming out, he's going to get force fielded, and he's going to lose some units. And, wow, this is, yeah, I mean, he's going to try and fight this. Does he have stim? He doesn't even have stim finished. Okay, choyafOu, I think you need to back up a little bit here and just build a bigger army, and then come out, you're going to lose some more units to force fields and sentries. You're going to need to fall back, you're going to lose that Marauder. But choyafOu just trying to hold them, maintain this high ground up here and get vision. But I think with this War Prism, it's actually giving him, yeah, complete vision of, oh, and he actually has an Observer up here. Okay, so that's really nice. So SSapoZenith doing the smart thing, just sitting here, not taking the bait, not running up the ramp, because you have the advantage. Like, you have the Expo up and running. You've got 4 Warp Gates and a Robo, so you can easily outproduce your opponent because he's on 1 base. And choyafOu just trying to find a point where he can get out there and break his opponent. Now, what I was talking about earlier was, okay, here's what I was saying. So he needs to build up an army. He needs to get out of his base so he can get a good point of attack, because this is not going to work with sentries. He's making a starport. He's going to make some medevacs, and hopefully that'll allow him to break out of his contain. And just picking really bad points to fight in these force fields. There's so many force fields just picking off this entire army. And choyafOu, Choya is just really bad positioning. So this early pressure from SSapoZenith is just really dismantling choyafOu's attack. I mean, he does have this expansion up. He's got to call a few mules down by now. This has probably been paid for by mules, which so that really isn't hurting him too bad. But it did cause his weaker army, which allowed SSapoZenith go for the contain. And here we got the medevacs coming out. That'll allow him to get down to low ground. But I don't know if SSapoZenith, I think he's just going to go for a busting him right now, trying to break up the ramp. He did pick off quite a few units in all these small little engagement force fields, and he's pushing up the ramp. There's not that many units left. You would probably see choyafOu pull down some SCVs, or maybe not. I mean, he's got really low army count. Let's check the food. 51 versus 71, so very far ahead. Now choyafOu's throwing down some bunkers. Okay, this is actually a pretty smart idea. Man, it would have been nice if you did this like as soon as this contain started. Just throw up bunkers. That way, if they try to use this high ground, if they try to use the Warp Prism for vision and just shoot units at the top of this ramp, they can't force field you in, and that's a really smart move. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Just throw down the bunker and just play really big defense. And just wait, just don't lose units, because you need to keep your critical mass of units. At this point, you know your opponent was expanding, so he's going to be making a bunch of probes. So if you one base mass only units, you might be able to break them if you just get some type of get these medevacs out in time to allow you to get out of this fight. And all these force fields, he's just using this whole cliff here against him, trapping him against this cliff with those force fields, and just picking off those Marauders, which is really good unit to deal with those Stalkers. And choyafOu is just trapped right now, and SSapo is doing such a great job. Just like a textbook example of how to deal with a Terran who you have contained. Only push when you know you can do quite a bit of damage. And Choya, I mean, I think he could have easily. I mean, he had an opportunity to win this easily. He didn't take any economic damage. He had a second expo, or he had this expo. So I think if he just would have played extremely safe, like maybe left his units back here, put up like 2 or 3 bunkers, play super defense, got like 100 food or something like that, got like 4 medevacs, and just went for a drop out here. Got out of the fight, but no, more sentries and more force fields laying down, picking off Marauders, separating the army. Such a great concave by Zenith, or Sapos. And with this one observer, just allowing him to just get all this vision. And I'm surprised choyafOu hasn't done a scan for anything like that. I guess he's too busy. He just has so much attack going on. Stimming is going to try to pick off units with this army. The difference is so huge. Sapo is probably going to be able to wrap this up very soon. But I think choyafOu had the right idea. He just started it a little too late. I think he should have started that starport a little bit sooner, getting medevacs out a little bit quicker, and maybe put those bunkers a little bit sooner. So choyafOu sacrificing the SCVs. And Sapo's going to be able to win this game on Xel'Naga Caverns. I don't know why I said it, Caverns. It's like an accent. But, yeah, good game from Sapo. Just cleaning this up. Did a very nice contain. Didn't get too over-eager with this push in there. I mean, I played against a lot of Protoss players on ladder who will try to break me on Steps of War. Even after, like, they go in for an attack. I already got 2 bunkers up with Marines, and they fail, and they try to come in again. And, they getting a little too over aggressive, but Sapo just playing so well with that contain and just played it excellently. So I hope you guys enjoyed that game, my casting game. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, I do a whole bunch of like co-cast games where I talk with the players. I talk with high-level diamond players about analysis of the replay. So they'll pick a replay and we'll cast it together. Not really cast, it's more of analysis. So we'll talk about what was in their head. They talk about their strategies, their build orders, and it's pretty cool stuff. Really get inside the head of the player as you watch the replay. So it's pretty fun stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys later.